A couple of weeks ago, I had a conversation that went something like this. Hey, do you want to go to India for a wedding next week? But let me back up a little bit. My friend Malin was the one who got invited to the wedding. I was simply along for the ride and to help out with a bit of luggage on the way. Not a really bad deal, if I may say so myself. The wedding itself was going to be down in Jaipur, about a 4-hour drive south of Delhi. Because they haven't really had a wedding for a long time in the family, they had decided to do all of the ceremonies and rituals that are traditional over there. That lasted for a total of 7 days. We only arrived for the last 3 or so. The contrast between India and Norway is rather immense. First off, Norway got a population of a suburb of Delhi, and India considered a small wedding to contain 1,000 people. So yeah, that's something.
The entire hotel is booked for Anshul and Shivani's family.
The whole hotel? Wow. As a part of a wedding that lasted for 7 days, there was a lot of ceremonies and rituals that were going on. I have basically no understanding of what any of them was supposed to symbolize, apart from maybe the last one where they actually became married and everyone cheered. I think I got that one. But apart from that, they had an immense team of camera people going on taking pictures. There were a lot of music and people danced almost continuously. For whatever was going on, there was someone dancing either on the main stage or in the background or in the processions or, dancing going on all the time. Now, here we're coming up on what was maybe my favorite part of the whole thing that the wedding was. Basically, everyone that wanted came up on stage and performed something to music. And this went on for hours, 3 hours maybe. And they had a lot of stuff going on. It was hilarious really to watch. There was, Anshul's parents did this romantic dance. There was nieces and nephews dancing and performing what I think really popular current Bollywood music. And it was just a really, really fun show. And then you have something like all the aunts doing things and sisters, and it was a lot, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Even for me, who barely understood that some of these songs was really popular and really current, and other ones was really cliche. But anyway, it was entertaining stuff. This wasn't a part of the normal wedding ceremonies and rituals or anything like that, but they had this kite fair or festival going on during the day of one of these days. And they had, they flew kites, they had some airsoft guns, they had this guy using a manual spin table to create small pottery pieces. And he also produced what I think is clay figurine of Ganesh, which is just really fascinating to see how casually he made stuff look so good. And yeah, no, I'm just fascinated. This here is on the last day and just before the last big ceremony kicks off. And at this part of the ceremony, all of the uncles are supposed to help the groom get ready for the wedding by dressing him in the turban and the jewelries, and as far as I understood anyway. The only problem tying the turban is that it requires a fair bit of skill to actually make a turban that can stick on the head for 10 hours. Anyone can actually tie a turban, but to make it stick, that's a tricky bit. In between the big procession and the main last ceremony, there was a big feast going on where the actual 1,000 people, I believe, showed up. In my opinion, this was brilliant. There were almost 100 meters or more of just food being lined up at the buffet where you can just go and snack and eat continuously. I like food. I like Indian food, if that wasn't evident by now. It was at this point that we had to leave, sadly enough. It was midnight, maybe 1 a.m. and we had to go back to the hotel to catch a few hours of sleep before the cab picked us up at 4 a.m. for us to reach the airport and our flight the very next morning. Although their party had really just begun. I think they were supposed to stay at the venue there for another 3 hours, and then at noon the next day they will all travel from the venue and to the groom's house to sort of finalize the ceremony. I believe that's how it worked. All of this has been just one big, tremendous adventure, and it's seldom you get a chance to get this up close to someone else's culture and to actually see all of the personal things, I dare say. Yeah, I'll probably spend a while yet just to process it all. Anyway, thanks you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.